Are you grinding for 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week on your business and wondering when you're going to catch a break? Watch this. My name is AJ. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ProLine. And in this interview, I talked to Scott Tebay of Rainstoppers Roofing about how he leveraged AI, automations, and systems to free himself from his business and create a 10-hour-a-week lifestyle roofing company.
Here at IRE, I'm joined by Scott Tebay with Rainstoppers Roofing and SDR Consultant. Scott, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
Glad you could make it out. Let's catch us up. Can you run through quickly, obviously what Rainstoppers is, but also what do you do at SDR Consulting?
Yeah, so we own a roofing company, primarily residential, Southeast Ohio, covering most of the state of West Virginia as well. We run a 7-person sales team currently. That's kind of the roofing business in a nutshell. Our office staff is one receptionist and then one office manager, because we utilize tech so well that's been able to keep some of that overhead down, some of his overhead employees at a low number. So that's been great. SDR Consulting, it's probably different than most consulting companies, I would say. Most of the stuff I do, I don't even charge for. It's mostly trying to help other roofers optimize their process. So become better at what they're doing, work less, make more. And obviously everybody's saying, I want to work less hours, make more money. There's a way to do that. And it's really not that difficult if you understand a few things about building a process and building a system that works. I think we've done it very well. I don't put a whole lot of effort into my business now. That's why I enjoy helping other contractors kind of get to that point. So yeah, there might be a few things I might charge for along the way, but most of it I do because I think it's the right thing, and I think I really wish that I knew someone like me 4 years ago. So yeah.
That's awesome. When the contractors that you do end up working with through SDR Consulting, what would you say the most common sort of traps that you see them falling into that you're helping them to avoid?
Yeah, so honestly, the sales process is a huge problem with a lot of people. If you're selling roofs, and strictly roofs especially, so many people are setting up these pipelines in their CRM or all these things with all these steps. If you go look at a roof, the first thing you need to do is get them a quote. Like, there's no reason to not give a quote on the spot. And if whatever tech you're using is not capable of doing that, then you probably want to look at something else, because with what's available today, we write quotes in 5 minutes. So I would think that's probably number one. And then automating that sales process after that is a huge thing. So all sales guys, I don't want to say all, a high percentage of sales guys are very good at going to the appointment, putting on a sales pitch, presenting well, but then they're on to the next appointment. All right. So where they fall short is that appointment they just left, they need followed up with well. Many sales guys don't follow up well. So if you can automate that process of follow up, trying to close that deal through automation, it takes all that guesswork out. So that's a big reason I'm not as active in the business as I once was, because I know I have software in place that can automate all of that stuff that I was used to spend a lot of time calling and checking on. Hey, did you follow up with this guy? Did you touch base with this lady? I don't even have to worry about it because we have software that does it for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And for that software, you've been using ProLine for a while, but there was a decision point, and we were talking about that earlier. There was a decision point where you're deciding, what am I going to use for my CRM? Walk us through that. What was that? Walk us through that decision.
Yeah. So you want me to give you the
story?
Right, so the whole story was, I was actually on vacation. I was at the rodeo in San Antonio. There was a Arctic polar vortex or whatever. We drove to Dallas so we could fly home, and I'm waiting at the Dallas airport. I had a call booked for HubSpot that afternoon, and I was planning on signing up with HubSpot because I really wanted a piece of software that was it was going to do everything. I was going to have everything in one place. I was going to be able to automate a lot of this stuff, really, really take advantage of the software that was available today. Your co-founder, John Delorier, reached out to me that morning. He'd been telling me about, ProLine and how you guys were building this CRM. I had already been using ProLine's tool, the old automation tool that it was, and I loved it, but you guys were going into a different direction that I didn't truly believe was going to be possible for what I was wanting as quick as I was wanting it. So he calls me that morning, says, hey, I really think you should just jump on a call with me. Let me just show you my account, because he's using it as a roofer every day. Let me show you my account and tell me what you think. So I jump in, I take a look at it, and I'm blown away. Literally blown away. I was like, holy, I need to cancel my afternoon meeting.
This was 2023.
This is back in 2023. Probably, actually, I know when it was. It was February, because the rodeo's every February in San Antonio. So it was in February of 23. I think you guys launched in November, December.
Yeah, it was like that fall we launched the CRM platform, yeah.
So in this few months, and I had talked to other CRM companies, and it's the big guys that everybody's heard of, tried them, had paid subscriptions. I was using them myself. I didn't deploy them amongst my team necessarily, but there was a lot missing, and they all told me it's coming Q1, it's coming next month, it's coming whenever. And John kept telling me, ProLine's doing this by this time. ProLine was the only company that lived up and actually, truthfully, exceeded what John said was going to happen. And so when I did the demo, it wasn't even a demo. It was just a friend showing a friend what he helped create. And 9 o'clock that morning, I canceled my 3 o'clock in the afternoon HubSpot demo, and thank goodness, because the cost that I was going to have, and nothing against HubSpot, it's a great software. It's extremely robust, but I was going to have about $6,000 a month, all said and done, in that software with all the additional pieces I had to have, the communication pieces, all those things, the
add-ons,
the quotation piece, all that stuff. It was just going to cost more and more. And at that time, I think I signed up with ProLine. It cost me around $800. So it was just, and it had everything I wanted to have. And you guys have been fantastic. Obviously, as an early user, I kind of was able to put in a little bit of input from time to time, and a lot of those features have been implemented today. So, that's the rest is history. We've been rocking.
Well, we appreciate you being in our quarter for so long. I love that you loved what you saw, because I, on the more tech side of the business at the time, was like, that meme where it's like the guy's got like string behind him. It's from Sunny in Philadelphia, and he's like that was me, like taping everything together to get it to work. And but it did work. But we've iterated so much since then as well.
Yeah.
So, what would you say has been the most impactful feature sets in ProLine that you?
I'd like to rattle off a handful, because there's some. It started great, right? So that's what I would say is started great, because it was built off the communication platform that ProLine was back in 2020, 2021. So to me, that was the secret sauce, and we were using that when we were utilizing Job Nimbus as our CRM. We still used ProLine's tool, and the CRM being built off that, it's a winner already, as long as it's got a few things, and it had more than those few things already on day one when I started. But some of the things, the automations, now the AI, I love the AI. We utilize that heavily for after hours calling, so we never send people to voicemail. If we ain't answering the phone, our AI agent's answering that phone call. Some people don't love it as far as customers, but the AI agent's smart enough to be able to take that information and pass it on to our in-house receptionist. And the next morning at 8 a.m., she's got all the contact info. She's reaching out personally. Customers tickled to death. So that's a absolute game changer for us. A few little ones that, like, to me were a big deal. The quoting feature, top notch. I've used all of them. All of the main quoting platforms. ProLine's absolutely the best, in my opinion. The customization ability, all the setting features that you can change and kind of dabble with. Booking links, that was one that I was a big advocate for. I love being able to have a speed to lead campaign that we're trying to get that appointment booked with that customer, but we also have an embedded booking link inside of that speed to lead campaign. So we're not just sending a text like, "Hey, can we book an appointment with you?" No, we're sending a text, "Hey, saw you inquired. Here's a link to schedule an appointment," and they can actually click that link, book an appointment. It understands the logic behind it, all the sales reps' calendars, everything's good to go. So those are the three things that really move the needle for us.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And absolutely. I mean, we've taken a lot of feedback from you and some of our other early customers and incorporate that. So thank you for all those contributions, helping us refine. What would you say? Like, from what you've seen, what do you think has made the difference with ProLine? Not from a feature set specifically, but is there a way that we're doing business that you feel like sets us apart from other
100%. So, and I won't just call people out necessarily, but I use two other big CRM companies. It's two of the biggest players in the space prior to ProLine, and my biggest gripe was customer service. So support. It's technology, and as roofers, generally we're not super tech savvy people, right? Like that I would say that's a good generalization. You know, we're not
passionate about.
No, we don't care about that. We care about selling work, getting work done, getting paid. So we need support. We need, when something breaks, when we can't figure out how to get something to happen inside of the software, we need help on that side. The two big players that I used prior to, at minimum, was 3 to 5 days to get a return on a support ticket. Sometimes more than a week, like a full 7-day week. That to me was insanity. When I joined with ProLine, obviously it was in its kind of infancy. I had a little bit more direct access with the team, so some would say, well, that's because they were small. They didn't have that many customers to take care of. Yes, I got immediate action back then. I still get immediate action. I think average response time on that's like 5 minutes or something like that. So I'm putting in a support ticket, and in 5 minutes, I'm getting a response to that. And actually now there's an AI bot in there that kind of buffers that 5 minutes. Even if that AI bot can help me immediately, great. If not, I just say, I want to talk to support. Within 5 minutes, I'm talking to a real person. So that's been a big game changer for us.
I love it. I appreciate it. What would you tell a contractor that, and I'm sorry this became a testimonial. I meant it for just be a podcast. We're going to circle back to being a podcast. It doesn't matter to me. So what would you tell a contractor that's evaluating, they're unhappy with their current CRM, they're evaluating all the CRMs in the space, there's a number of different options, and ProLine's one of those options they're considering. What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think you got to look at, so everybody's worried about cost, right? Like everybody's talking about, well, I can get, this piece of software for $250 a month and my entire team can be on. Okay, that's fine. Like that's a really inexpensive route to have a piece of software deployed in your business. I would tell people to look at what a piece of software can save you, because money saved is money made. And in business, that's a huge factor. So for me, I was growing when I implemented ProLine. I was just about to hire another office staff and an inside salesperson to take on some of these tasks that just the ball was getting dropped too often. We brought ProLine in, we implemented it well. I did not have to hire 2 people because of that. Let's say at minimum I was going to pay them $40,000 a year a piece. In my area, I could probably have done that. That's $80,000 a year in salary that I'm not spending. I can promise you, because I use these other cheaper softwares, they do not have the capability to do what I needed it to do to save me that cost. And that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, we don't need people. I've seen companies have actual estimators in the office. They got sales reps in the field and estimators in the office. We turn quotes out of ProLine. I said 5 minutes. As long as we've got a measurement report, it's 60 seconds. So we're writing quotes, spitting them out right on the site. Like there's no question. A very green sales rep can put out a extremely accurate quote in a minute. So look at what the software can save you. The goal of software is not to create more work for your business. The goal of software is to alleviate work from your business and make it more functional.
It's the name of the game.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. That's fantastic. Let's circle back and talk about SDR consulting. So, what is the sort of ideal scenario, or like when might a contractor look to SDR consulting and where it would make sense for them to work with you?
Yeah. So I do a couple things, and again, none of this is really get charged for. And maybe you should, but that's just not where I'm at. I put so much time a week into this, and if I can get to you, my goal is to get to you and spend some time with you and try to help you. But we run every week we do a mastermind call. So once a week we spend an hour on a call, a group of great guys across the country, all different areas, and we just talk shop. Talk about wins, talk about problems, just kind of talk shop. And, in that call, I'm not even a standalone consultant. We all kind of work together, help each other, and we all bring great ideas to the table and kind of brainstorm together. The other part is, if you're wanting to build systems, my goal is to build a lifestyle business. My goal is not, if you're wanting to build a $100 million business, I'm probably not the right guy to talk to, because that's not my vision, and I haven't done it. I talked to a guy, and I think last I talked to him, he was doing about $300 million worth of revenue in his business. Nothing to do with roofing, but a very, very savvy businessman. And he always told me, always hire a coach or work with a coach that's exceeded what you want to do. So if your goal is to do $100 million, I've never done it. Do not hire me. Hire a guy that's done or exceeded that mark already. Yeah. For me, I want to build lifestyle businesses. And I want to help people do that as well. My goal is to spend time with my family, my friends, travel, enjoy life, and make great money along the way. So I worked my butt off for a lot of years, not spending that time, not taking that time away. And I finally did and realized how valuable that time is. So yeah, if you're wanting to, spend less time working, but still make really great money, that's kind of where I think I've thrived and done really well. I've pulled myself to the point. I've kind of thrown myself back in the fire this winter because I want to build a commercial roofing division for our company. So I'm going to plug a few more hours in here this year than normal.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, I'm probably averaging maybe 10 hours a week or so, and we're doing well. So, that's my goal, and if that's your goal, that's where I can be a helpful.
Yeah. For those contractors that like that vision, they want the same thing. They're looking for the lifestyle business. What do you think the top 3 things that they need to be thinking about 2026?
Yeah. So one thing I see all too often, I think with that model is just trying to get your profit high. The problem is with that, you need to grow your bottom line first, or your top line first. Get your revenue. Because if your revenue's up, you're getting in front of people. You're building a network, you're building referrals, you're building all this infrastructure in behind. You're able to have more salespeople in the field selling work. Yes, we want to make money. Profit's obviously the name of the game. But if you're not getting opportunities, profit's not going to come. So not everybody, but there's some coaches out there that have given me a little bit of flack because I talk about revenue. Revenue matters. Like if you think it's not a stick your chest out revenue. I've got to be doing so many jobs to deploy so many salespeople to keep them fed, because they got to make money too. You can't just give them one lead a day and hope that they survive. No, I want to fill their schedules.
Yeah.
Then pivot. Now you've built the infrastructure, now pivot and work towards getting the profit margins up. But so I see too many people that target the lifestyle business that want to be super, super small and you go for really high margin work and think that that's going to work, it usually doesn't. So
Stable enough.
it's not stable. There's not enough of that, and nobody knows of you. If all you've done is done one job a week, how many people know of you? And guess what? 52 customers a year.
Yeah.
That's not very many. We do 6 jobs a day, and I work 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
Guess who knows me? A whole lot of customers. And we have systems in place to also optimize those 6 jobs a day surrounding, and Brad Akers does a good course on that. I've never done it. I know the bones of it, but he kind of trains a good course on how to optimize those job sites too, to make those 6 a day more jobs for tomorrow. So I think that's probably the biggest problem. And then obviously not hustle hard enough. Like, at the end of the day, I'm no smarter than anybody. Nobody taught me this. It's almost 100% self-taught. I out-hustle my competition. That's just, it's very, very simple concept. I out-hustled them for a long time, and finally decided to reel back. I mean, I could probably be doing double the revenue I'm doing now if I would have continued to hustle. I just didn't want that anymore. I realized I was at a point where I could pull back. I had great people in place. They were making great money. They loved their career. And I could kind of pull out of it and still make a really, really great living, not putting out.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Hustle and get in front of a lot of people.
Get in front of a lot of people. You gotta have that critical mass of customers every year to be a stable business.
Absolutely. If you're in retail residential, you need a new one every day.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Always good talking.
I appreciate it.